10분 정도는
네.
그렇게 할게요. 그래서 빨리 끝내는 걸로.
예.
아니면은 뭐 토요일 날 오전에 이렇게 오셔서 한 번 더 하셔도
예, 그건 제가 미리 말씀을 드릴게요.
예, 그러세요.
예.
수고하세요.
예. Hello, my name is Christian Wee. Welcome to the class. This class is about philosophy of Christian education. I don't know how much you guys have heard of the education and have gotten involved in education, but we're gonna through host cover what Christian education is like, right? So let me introduce myself to you first. I'm still a student at Biola University. I'm studying I'm studying intercultural studies. I'm a PhD candidate. I tried to wrap up my paper last semester, but it didn't work out. So I need to extend one more semester. So I tried to defend my paper at the end of the summer or in the beginning of the fall semester. I have a family, so I have a wife Esther and I have two daughters. They are already graduated from colleges, and then they both are in graduate school now. So one is in Midwest and another one is the East Coast. So we live in West Coast, so our family can spread over the whole United States, right? So I call them my little one, so Midwest, and my first one is East Coast. So they graduate from East Coast, one of the colleges in East Coast, and then one of them is already started in graduate school and professional school, and another one is she's preparing for that. My wife works around here, and she commute every day to downtown LA. But I'm used to work in a Korean mission cross-cultural mission agency in Anaheim. So I've been worked there about 10 years, and then last year before COVID, and then I quit my job and then tried to do something else and wrap up my paper. But because of the COVID, and then a lot of things changed, to me as well. I used to work a Korean immigrant church, and not anymore. And I served as a youth pastor and young adult pastor and assistant pastor for adult ministry. So I did everything from the Sunday school to adult ministry. So it depends on the church needs. I try to help to the ministry, but later on, so I'm really interested in education. So more interested in how can build healthy family, and then as a family serve the family can serve God. So with the children. So why I was doing ministry, and then I was getting along with second generation, and then but also hard to get along with the first generation. So I can see what is the problem between first generation and second generation, especially in church communities. So I try to come back to church ministry, come back to adult ministry, but it didn't work very well. And then I kind of created kind of a ministry, my own ministry. So it called family missions. So I take the families. It's a part of this is a part of education for the family. That's why I'm sharing. My mission was the kind of try to build a kind of a healthy family in God and have a vision in God and serve God as a family. So I train the family. People go to mission trip and as a family. So people go to mission trip about 3-4 months and then spend time together and we talked together, we prayed together, and then I took them to the mission field. So we served together. It's been 10 years. So we when before the COVID, and we went to every month in Tijuana. So we go to local church and we kind of helping local church. And then every summer, about 10 days, we went to the Guadalajara and Michoacan in kind of inside of the inland of the Mexico, and then we helped the church there. It was kind of he was not very well known program, but my interest is kind of help the families and kind of children and parents to build up the small kingdom of God. It's called family. That was my stage going on last year, and the team members kind of have agreement, kind of agree that we would make non-profit, kind of create a non-profit organization. So we created a non-profit organization to kind of reach out to the overseas countries, the children or students, and then that is relate to education. So sometimes even though we wanna go and serve, but it's just sometimes like a COVID, and then there's a limitation, we cannot go. Kind of we don't know when it kind of goes long and long, but like the situation, sometimes a lot of countries are closing down the doors, so we cannot go in anymore. So like that situation, how can we continue to mission to other countries? So I tried, I'm really interested in kind of raising the local leadership. So we sponsor who really have kind of ability to lead and serve, and then kind of selective through the selective process, we select someone and then support their tuition and living cost. So until they finish their kind of education. That's one of the ministry that I'm doing in my organization. So it's called it's called love to hope. Kind of love through Jesus Christ, kind of give them hope. So it's called love to hope. So we already registered in California, but we are waiting for approving from IRS. So because of the pandemic, it's going to process is very slow. I'm doing now. So if you are interested in kind of education in overseas countries, especially kind of helping the student who really have ability to serve and lead their church community or their local community, and then furthermore, they can get involved in the global community, and then we're willing to kind of support them. So let us know if you are interested. And that was Korean ministry and my priority is education. My first priority is education. So I willing to invest money for education. For example, it's not just for the college to be successful. So like my wife, and then she was a little, she learned piano a little bit. So about 45, 50 years later, she never played the piano. And one day said, "Oh, can I?" My kids grew up with instrument. They play piano and they are interested in kind of jumping here and there. But even though they don't, they didn't take lessons like a flute and clarinet, whatever, and then guitar, and then they learn from internet, YouTube. So we bought and willing to, if they want a lesson, and they will try to find a teacher and let them take a lesson like that. And then my wife were interested in kind of learning keyboard, and they said, she asked me, and then why not? And like, okay, you can take a lesson. And I found a teacher for her like this, and then it's not just instrument. Sometimes my kids, I want to learn something different, and they play tennis in their life, and then I wanna play different things, try different things. I always support because not just for quality, not just for success, and try to kind of develop their healthy lifestyle, and they develop their ability to do something, right? They can learn a lot of stuff, even though they're sports and other stuff, and we can learn a lot of stuff. Sometimes you may think that it's waste money, waste time. Not really though. Yeah. So my primary really important education is really my top priority. So I had an option to take another teach another class, but I'm willing to pick this class because I'm interested in. Still, I'm really, my interest is about cross-cultural missions. Whether cross-cultural mean that even though I'm interested in going to other kind of overseas countries. We leave these countries and go other countries and help people, but still cross-cultural ministry we can do the cross-cultural ministry in the United States, because a lot of immigrants and a lot of migrants is coming to United States, and then but still I know that that's the American culture is there, but under the umbrella is a lot of different ethnic, totally different ethnic cultures there, right? And then you can engage them, and then try to share the gospel, and then that's a cross-cultural mission, even though you don't go out to other countries. So cultures are really different though. So I'm attending to, so the American church is already white, people were pretty dominant. It's like more than 80%, more than 80% of white people. But yesterday, I'm in the small group, which we call the life group. So we went to hike yesterday. So we went to a hike yesterday, and then after kind of a hike, and then we we packed the lunch and we had lunch together. Guess what? So everybody brought kind of different things. So my another friend is they are Filipinos, and we are Filipino family and Korean families. So we are Asians, and three families and Caucasians. Their lunch is totally different. Yeah, that's a cultural difference. It's a white people they brought some snacks, bananas for lunch, and other people in PJ peanut butter and jellies, and then some chips. Another she brought the salad. It's like a different, but we brought it's a coincidentally another family, Asian family, Filipino family, and my family brought what? The musubi. It's a Hawaiian style, and do you know the musubi? And then between the rice in the middle of you put the spam in the middle of the rice and then wrap with the seaweed, right? That's musubi. We brought that one. Yeah. So everybody left at the lunch, and then they said, "Wow, that's Asian families bring food for picnics. So we are Caucasian family bring lunch like this. We had a joke like that like yesterday. So there is cross cultural difference, and then education should be different though. Culture is different, their lifestyle different, and their worldview is different. So that's my kind of introduction myself to you guys. I don't know who you are, but someday we can meet and we can talk to each other. I took the philosophy of Christian education with you. Maybe you can tell me when class is open in person. But nowadays, I don't know who you are and where are you from. But still, we are on the same boat, right? So we're gonna learn together about what's the philosophy of Christian education. So we're gonna go we're gonna take a journey together for this topic for 10 weeks, and we're gonna learn a little bit kind of a heavy stuff. I don't know whether you never heard about philosophy and theology and psychology and historical kind of understanding of education, and then all kind of stuff. We're gonna, I don't know, maybe we cannot go deep that you are expecting, but still we can get some idea what's going on, what have done, or what is going now. So we can learn about the all kind of stuff. But it's a kind of, maybe it's a survey. If you are more interested in, and you can read the books, and maybe there is a lot of references there, and you can read more books. And so maybe later when you guys meet me, maybe you guys take another class with me, and then just let me know. I was with you for the class and like this, okay? So I'm really missing you guys to see in person. So I prefer to have a class face to face, but because of the specific kind of a circumstance like pandemic or COVID-19, so we cannot do it unfortunately. So maybe coming semester maybe we can see in person. So before we start, and then just to remember this class, and I want to know the kind of a basic program objective, and then because what is we are trying to achieve, and from this program, and I don't know what program you are in, but just think about it. But I got a program objective here from school. So I'm gonna read it for you. Okay, this program provides students with the foundation for the study of religious education and theology by incorporating both basic courses in education and theological disciplines. The student will be able to start developing their knowledge and characters as future professionals and preparing for successful careers and growing intimacy with Christ. So basically, this is one of the class for Christian education. So maybe this class help you to design how can educate people at churches and small group and big groups and for instance how can I design the disciple class? Maybe we can use a lot of books out there, but just think about before you start through this class, what is my philosophy? What is my object? What is my theological view? So what is my educational theory? How can I apply all these things into the program? How can I follow up? How can I evaluate like this? And then so the purpose of this class is kind of through this and the program may help you to have better professions and then maybe grow up to Jesus Christ. The philosophy of Christian education. This course explores the essential foundation for Christian education. So philosophical and theological and historical and psychological and then curricular foundations provide essential knowledge of education. So it's a lot of stuff because the philosophy of the Christian education, look at the title. It's not just an introduction of education, right? It means that philosophy means that more abstract, more kind of directions and more your own thought, right? So the perspectives with psychological, historical, philosophical, and theological, those perspectives introduce different theories of education, but there are integrate with the Christian perspective, right? Can we spell the grammar is wrong? They are integrated with the Christian perspectives and challenges the issue because of each perspective has different things because they have different philosophy, right? And different perspectives. So there's a lot of issues, challenges, and we can tackle them, right? And then kind of suggest what is the practical application for Christian education. So I hope, you can kind of learn something through, this process, and then you can see what is Christian philosophy of the Christian education. So this class aims at kind of to understand the essential foundation of a Christian education, which leads to equip students with theological and practical knowledges. So it's a lot of different heavy stuff, but it will help you understand and kind of as a leader, as a teacher, as a pastor, and whatever, and then you can think about how influential this perspective on education is. So basically maybe even though you don't use this kind of old stuff and but still that's a foundation of the in your thought, in your directions, right? So we can understand, we just go to school and then we send the kids to the school, but we don't know what's going on. What are they thinking about it, right? Just nowadays, this kind of education systems are really changing. Just think about when around 1996, 1990, I started college here around 1999, and there was not an issue about sexuality. They don't think about, they even didn't think about what? Pronouns. Getting confused and it's hard to catch up, like this, and then, so a lot of things is changing now, but still we gotta know, and we gotta, we needed to have a right critique of each perspective, each philosophy. So, we can see basic kind of, understand the basic foundation of the Christian education, and then student will learn foundational knowledge and then different perspectives of Christian education. At the end of the class, student may design a curriculum that may lead in the ministry with their learning. So that's the goal. Just think about what basic knowledge, and then you can use this one, and then apply in your personal setting. So maybe one of the class, we can use one of the classes, and then we can practice how can design the curriculums. The curriculum wise, that's one of the class. So I took the curriculum design in cross-cultural context. It's a whole semester class, but I can introduce why you have to consider to design curriculum. What kind of question? What needed to what you need, right? There is the books, requirement books and recommended books, and then most of the lectures from those books, right? Maybe if you are really interested in books and the philosophy and education, maybe I recommend the require reading books, and then 1 to 3, and then otherwise, and then there's a lot of books out there, so you can use them, right? And what about the course calendar? So I try to follow this orders, and then first to 10 weeks, and today is kind of introductive class, so maybe we can understand what we are going for, and then from next week we can start one by one, philosophical foundation and theological foundation and historical foundation. Historical foundation is we can briefly, skim through the history of Christian education, right? It's not a general education, and so also nowadays it's social science is really important, and they study a lot, and they kind of make a theory, even though it's not perfect, but they give us kind of perspective on understanding human beings. So what can we get the kind of insight from the past theory and current theories? Not that much, but still it's really a lot of people using the theory to research, and they want to kind of apply that one to education, and then a lot of Christian educators, and then they use the theory to Christian teaching education, and then you can see that one Okay, so sometimes they can get an insight and they can develop their own theory and like education method, and then we can see that one, and then we can see the kind of a curricular foundation for Christian education. So what you need, basically, you need philosophy and theology and kind of kind of social science understanding and what kind of theories out there and what is the most popular. But just think about the US student is like Gen Z is different from millennials, right? Millennials. If you are high school ministry or teacher interested in high school ministry or high school teacher and junior high, and then you're gonna know the Gen Z, right? And a lot of studies are coming out from the social science. And then, well, if you are interested in millennials and early millennials is different from late millennials. Yeah, my study is focused on millennials in second generation Korean Americans, and then that's a different. But if you are it's a little bit doing the kind of relate to the work in adults are different from the millennial, their children's. Adult maybe they are late millennials or maybe Gen X, like around 99, from 80 to like 1996, 1997, 1996, 1997, like this, X generation, right? And then baby boomers, and like this, and then there is a lot of generational study out there. So maybe there is a cultural consideration should be there, right? Cultural consideration. So if you are engage with like public school and then a little bit different, you just followed the protocol of education that provided by the district government. But if you are in ministry, church ministry, and then a little bit different, right? So, and if you are in Korean church, and then you gotta know the Korean cultural background, understand how they think about education and church education and general education. What about Chinese? What about Indian? What about other ethnic background? So different, right? And so, Christian educational kind of ministry one, ministry, and then it is about how can you apply our theories and education theories and to our ministry. So we can see specifically in not just the education is not just for the kids like of the college, but nowadays pedagogue is like really focused on the school ages and of college, but nowadays andragogy, something like that, and then that adult education. Just think about this society, how society is changing quickly, right? And when nowadays just think about my parents already passed away, but I could see like the 60s and then kind of a 50s, 60s, 50s is still okay. We could learn some technology, but my wife is scared of technology, and then always when she use a computer, she can use what she needs, but sometimes what if I mess up? What if I break my computer program, something like that, and then kind of she cannot a lot of it she cannot do it. So once my kids teacher, I teach her, but she doesn't remember how to do it, right? Me too. Me neither. So like that. So that's why kind of society changing quickly, and then we gotta adjust to it. Kind of as you are getting older, it's a lot of different from the younger generation. But society is a lot of kind of impact on the and kind of leading generation, not the younger generation and then young generations, and then really focus in, and then you gotta know what's going on. That's the part of education, right? That's why we wanna see how we can apply, think about the principle to specific area. And then last two classes, we can think about the kind of issues and challenges for Christian education. So that's we're gonna scheme notes. Learn through the whole class, right? Today kind of an introduction of your Christian education. The title of this class is Philosophy of Christian Education, right? It's really heavy. It's not like undergraduate courses. And just think about there's three main words, and then philosophy and Christian and education. We try to put together, right? That's this class. Okay, just let's think about one by one each kind of term means. What each term means. And what is the philosophy? Have you taken any philosophy class in your life? Have you heard about any philosophers? I did. Actually, I studied philosophy and at university in Korea. So philosophy is like one of the kind of a branch of humanity studies, right? Like literature and language, and sometimes sociology, right? And philosophy, like it is one of the humanity classes, psychology like this. And so it means the kind of love of wisdom. So through the philosophical process and thinking and then learning and what, you can get a lot of wisdom, insight. Basically, I know a lot of philosophers think about really kind of being, like being, and ultimate being like this. We cannot see, we cannot understand, but their mind is really abstract and very logical and try to pursue understanding ultimate being like God. Philosophy is about, like this, one of the dictionary definition, the study of the fundamental nature of knowledge, reality, and existence, especially when considered as an academic discipline. Discipline, right? It's really kind of a question about and think about the knowledge, system of knowledge, and reality, and existence. We don't know, like afterlife, people life, and who created, who maintained the universe. Sometimes, scientists try to prove it, but sometimes we cannot do it. But now they made up the theory. It's not a theory, we cannot believe it. Which theory is a theory, there is always there is kind of mistake. It's not perfect, 100% right. Just think about the scientific theories and knowledges, and as time goes by and change, right? Maybe basic like kind of axioms, like 1 plus 1 is 2, but we cannot change that one. That one kind of that was our basic promise, and then we set up that one. If we ignore that one, then everything's changed, right? But even though based on that one, that kind of a calculation or knowledge, and then just think about physics. Einstein made a lot of big breakthrough, right? But nowadays, what is that? Kind of developed, and whenever they have a new theory, and then try to explain what the phenomena or the things that the past theory tried to prove, right? Like that. Yeah, that's a kind of study in philosophy, and it's really rational and abstract and methodical consideration of reality. So it's really try to understand the fundamental principles, beings like that. It's not a really concrete like physics and like science, right? It's really different, but it doesn't, the philosophy doesn't do experiment. So they use the logical process, and then, and they merely kind of one of a theory, and then, it's a theory for them, and influence the society and individuals, right? Well, we can learn later, we can talk later, and then, when we say the philosophy is one of what is a branch of academic in humanities, but what about the philosophy? We use a lot. So I already told you I'm a PhD candidate. So PhD means the Doctor of Philosophy. What does it mean, that one? It's kind of credential, though. You are kind of you are qualified for the rational, abstract, methodical kind of consideration in what? Of reality in what? Some area that you study, right? That's why if you do it, then they entitle PhD, philosophy of what? Something like that. So I'm studying intercultural studies, kind of it's a global studies, a lot of different way, but this is intercultural study in that I study there's two cultures out there, and between the cultures, right? What happened, what's going on like this, and then that's like a Christian anthropology kind of, and that's you can use the kind of conceptual process and inquiry and then questions and then logical process, and then you develop your own philosophical thinking. That's why they give you kind of the school gives you PhD title. That's why we say that's a kind of credential, and then another one is kind of someone's philosophy like this, philosophy of the Christian education, and also another way, my philosophy is like this. What does it mean, that one? We use that one, right? And when we say my philosophy is in the really fundamental direction of your life, your thought, right? You cannot change it tomorrow. Maybe you can do it, but if you do it, then you say, "Oh, my philosophy is to live in honest way," and then tomorrow my philosophy is kind of make a good use of everything wherever I want, and then tomorrow, and then you keep changing, and then you can change your philosophy, but it doesn't reflect your life and your thinking, and then it's not a philosophy, right? They cannot acknowledge that you have a philosophy. You cannot say the word, but philosophy mean that it's kind of basically it's very, very foundational, and then it means that you have my philosophy, and then you have a particular system of philosophical thought. Something is kind of really foundational thinking and then knowledge about that one. So you are pursuing that one. You try to bring that idea into your life, and then that's the kind of philosophy, someone's philosophy, right? Got it? Yeah, it's a different way, but still think about the philosophy. What does it mean? So when we talk about philosophy of the Christian education, so philosophies mean that it's really like this. Something is really conceptual, abstract, but we have kind of display on the kind of display your thought in logical way, kind of show the what you are going for, right? With like directions or like principles, it gives you that one. Yeah, gives you principles and then directions, and that's a philosophy from in terms of practicality. So there is something here, but philosophical concept and thinking process, and then knowledge already formed, right? And let's go a little bit more. Is a philosophy mean that the three aspects of philosophy. So one is as activity, one is a kind of attitude, and the body of content. So when we say philosophy is a kind of activity, means that what are the philosophers doing? They think, kind of speculating a lot and develop their own idea in the logical way, and then they analyze and put together, synthesize. That is a kind of activity that philosophers doing there. It's not just to grab the other's idea and no. So a lot of information you grab and thinking and think through the kind of analysis and synthesis, and then just to developing new idea of a direction of something. What about attitude? And through the process, you are kind of aware of yourself, aware of the new way of knowledge. You can have a comprehensive knowledge. Very comprehensive knowledge, right? Not just a specific one principle, like axiom, like axioms, like premises like this, and then what you can go deep involved, and then but just think about if you don't have any flexibility in knowledge, and then you cannot analyze, and you cannot develop your ideas, right? You gotta think this way, that way, and then how in kind of a knowledge influence on that and comprehensive like this. What about content? Philosophy says kind of usually a lot of people have different structure, but I use this one from the one of the textbook, and there is three content. Was metaphysics, the study of the nature of reality. It's not just a phenomenon. That's a phenomenology later, and then you can maybe if you are interested, and then you can see that one. But the original is metaphysics, is the study of the nature of the reality. Sometimes it's not just phenomena; it's a kind of appearance, right? Physical aspect of the something, reality. But the reality is behind, we cannot see it, but still influence, give them, physical and appearance. That is the metaphysics, right? We cannot see it. What about the epistemology? Epistemology is kind of study of the nature of the knowledge and truth. Right? What is the knowledge? Is a distinguishment. Is it true or false, like this? There's an epistemology, and then what about the axiology? Axiology is the kind of study of the question of the values, your values. It's kind of ethics and moralities. That is a kind of basic content in philosophy. So when you think about the philosophy, and then usually we keep that in mind is metaphysics, and already is given for Christian education, and because God is there, God is in control of everything, right? But just think about epistemology, and then how can we organize and prove this is true? How can we organize about the knowledge in some way? That's epistemology, right? What about the value? From that one, what kind of value we have? And we need to practice. Like Christianity, we say Christianity, and they say, you guys assert always what? Love, the love of God, the love of Christ. That is one of the values that we have as a Christian. Like this. Yeah, that is a kind of basic functions, and then, but we gotta know that philosophy is not just study about reality, and study about systematic, study of the knowledge or truth, and it's not just study about the values, right? That's the content, but to think about through the kind of process, and then it's a philosophy, and maybe it's not I already told you it's a comprehensive, and then kind of it influence society a lot, influence individuals and persons a lot, right? Just think about one of the philosophers, and Plato. I don't know whether you heard of him. It's Asian, he's a philosopher in ancient, Greek, Greek philosopher, Greece, right? And he influenced a lot to kind of with epistemology on Christianity. And just think about the Greek philosophies. And kind of at that time, the kind of academic atmosphere, and then their thinkings, and they influence a lot. And then try to explain Christianity in a way, right? And then we kind of developed the knowledge system in the way. So nowadays, just think about it, and in America, and then maybe when I was in Korea, we already influenced about Marxism when I was in college, before in around the 80s and 70s, and a lot of college students demonstrate kind of prostate against the government, and then a lot of people lost their life, and one of my friends, he lost his eyes while he was kind of protesting, and then the officer shoot the tear gas on him straight, like this, and then. But his philosophy, his theories influenced a lot. Developed the communism, and then the economic theories, and then try to understand the world with his theories. His theories is not true. It's a part of his theory can reflect the phenomena of the society at the time, right? Not all the day, not all the time. But we can see a different way of life and society. It's not always like that. There is a second, there is the theories from European countries and then setting, right, at that time, after industrial revolutions. I know a lot of problems going on, and he tried to explain the phenomena with his theory. That's a theory. It's not true, right? That's why the philosophy influences society of the direction of society sometimes, and influence to all the organization and the peoples, and people follows. That's why philosophy is really important. So I don't know whether you have what kind of I don't know what kind of a philosophy do you have. But I don't have philosophy, I'm not influenced by anyone, but just think about your thinking way and think about what you are pursuing, and then you are already influenced by some philosophy in your education. So, philosophy can explain and provide a worldview. Worldview means that how you see the world. Everybody has a different lens, right? If you're from the Asian countries, what about your lens? What kind of lens do you wear to see the world, to understand the world? The Asians, like me, is really collective. So always we say we and we. My last name is we. We don't say I. So when you talk to Americans, sometimes habitually I say we, but I use the we. But for some, my partner's conversation partner was really surprised. But I'm not a we. I don't know you, right? But we mean that kind of includes sometimes the Western society is really individualistic, and then so we are not related. We cannot say we. But when we say we, it's a kind of not general meaning. It's general. It's nothing. Sometimes it really mean we, and sometimes it doesn't mean we. It's really different though. We follow kind of shame and honors, but guilty and what? Judgment. Really different perspective. That's why they try to understand with what they have in their mind and heart, and then kind of see the world. Just think about a lot of people make mistake when they go to other countries, right? They think the way that we do this is the way that we are supposed to live. But when you go to other countries and their culture is totally different, they see the world in different way, but they don't recognize it, right? That's a big problem. Like this, That's why, and it's kind of whole worldview is kind of really fundamental. Your value system, all the way down, thinking system, or all the way deep core of your whole world. What about culture? Because of those worldview, and then you behave differently. You thinking differently, right? you live differently, with your values different. And just think about different values and create different cultures. Right? Nowadays, you consider American society is really polarized and democratic and Republican and conservative and liberal, right? And just think about what is a what is a democratic is trying to create, produce in the society. What is the Republican trying to produce in this society? So different. Even though a lot of people say conservative and Republican, they say Trumpists, right? Everybody is not same. Trump is not the same, right? Maybe basic philosophy and basic values and basic understand things maybe they have kind of a similar tendency and understanding, but it's not same. Culture. So it's an influence on culture, right? Nowadays trying to inclusive everybody, right? We are different, but long time ago, like the 70s and then 60s, is totally different nowadays. That's I try to the diagram. I try to show how people are different, and basically they have a different worldview. What is it? Gnostic, meaning that there is a Gnostic, it's a being, it's a Gnostic and possible to be 100% certain. Agnostic means that it's not possible to be 100%. I'm the agnostic, and mean that we don't know whether God is exist or not, right? That's agnostic. Agnostic means that there is something sure, God is there, like this, right? And then these they mean that believe in God, gods. Atheists what? They don't believe God. Like this, and then basic, I kind of this one is kind of one of this one is reflect to how worldview kind of formed in your person's mind. Just think about I'm Gnostic and theist. I'm 100% sure God exists. Just think about it with the kind of philosophical mind, and you can see the world and totally different from those who don't have agnostic and atheist, right? That's a philosophy. So philosophy is a kind of give you comprehensive knowledge, abstract and conceptual and knowledge of reality, and it kind of gives you directions and principles, right? And specifically, and then that one is a philosophical process, and then you gotta investigate all different kind of approaches, theories, and kind of principles and rules, right? And try to understand what, through the questioning and through the investigating analysis and all the process their activity, and then try to give you kind of philosophical knowledge, right? That's a philosophy. So think about it when you philosophy of Christian education and philosophy mean that one really fundamental, right? What about Christian mean? I'm Christian. My name is Christian. People do, people always joking about it. I'm Christian, so once You were really funny. I started learning kind of golf. I never played golf, but about 2 years ago, and then I cannot play. I used to play tennis a lot, and I like tennis still. But my company is kind of dissolved and then disappeared, and then my daughters and went to the college, and no one else to hit the ball together. So, and I one of my friends kind of recommended to learn. So, by yeah, at the same time, kind of when you're getting older, it's kind of it's too much for your body, and it's a good cardio exercise, but still your knees and arms or bodies is not it's too much for. So I started learning golf, and then one day I said, uh, my daughter learned last year. She was a tennis player. She's still playing tennis. She played for college. Yeah, and then she learned golf, and then we learned golf. We went to a course, and then and there is kind of even though there is not many people, but people kind of join together and make a song and play together. And then I introduced myself, and then I'm Christian. He said my name is Christian, but I said I'm Christian. So he took my word literally, and then I'm Christian. I mean that my name is Christian, but he took my word and literally. He's a Christian. So he said, "Hallelujah, I'm Christian too." Like that. So I told him, my name is Christian. What it means, when you say you are Christian, so what does Christian kind of symbolize and kind of mean? Christian mean is kind of it's not from the long time ago, from like 5,000 ago. No. At that time, there is no Christianity, right? Christianity kind of formed after Jesus Christ. It's like we nowadays days in AD after Christ AC, they don't use AC, BC. Before Christ, after Christ, they don't use it. This and around it's like after Jesus Christ, around 30, 35, 80, 35, and common era like this. Nowadays, CA common era, they use a common era, and then around 35, 34, 35, and then after Jesus Christ died, and then kind of his disciples, and then persecuted by the Jews, and then they scattered to other region of the countries around there, and then one of the people groups go to Syria right now, and then there is a Antioch there, and then people gather together and learn about Jesus and worship God, and then people call them the Christians from that time. From that time. That's why Christians kind of word is kind of formed and popular, and then in Romans period is already kind of degraded and looked down when you say Christian. Anyway, Christian is kind of a religious identity, right? Maybe we can say Buddhist, and then they believe they have a Buddhism. Their religion is Buddhism. Whereas my Muslim is religion is Muslim. I'm Christian mean that I believe in God. I believe in Bible, right? I'm the follower of Jesus Christ. It means that Christian. There is a specific values, identities attached, right? So think about one of the values of love, forgive, like this. That is a really so when you say Christian and then you gotta show the Christian identity to others, right? You gotta say that what you believe and then show your belief in your actions. That's the religious identity, right? And in Christian means that you have to reflect what Christians' worldview, Christians' belief, Christians' values, right? That's a Christian. If we say I'm Christian, and then maybe self-proclaimed, so I'm Christian, but you don't go to church. Maybe once a year, but you don't believe that Jesus Christ or what Bible said. But my parents, Christians. I grew up, and maybe I graduated from the Christian high school, elementary, and Christian college, or whatever. But you don't believe, you don't believe in Jesus, you don't believe in God, and you don't follow Jesus Christ. You cannot say that I'm Christian, because maybe you can claim by yourself. You can claim it by yourself, but nobody recognizes that you are not a true Christian. So Christian means they kind of reflect their worldview, right? We are theists, not atheists. Gnostic, God is something is sure is there. That's why, not agnostic. They say, agnostics say, you're not sure whether God is exists or not. How do you know? It's unknown. There is kind of, they build theology. There's a lot of theology out there, a little bit different perspective, because we sure that God is there, right? And God sent Jesus Christ and saved us. We believe it, but there's a liberal theologies coming they understand the Bible different way. One of the examples is the liberal theology don't believe in miracles and signs and wonders, because sometimes it's hard to prove in scientific way that we thinking. What is science? Logical thinking, logical experiment way that we understand that, and then we say it's a science. But a lot of things in our daily life, and then we cannot explain in scientific way, right? Through logic or experiment. So, there is kind of theology, and liberal theology, and conservative theology. And conservative theology believes the Bible as it is. But liberal theology, they denied a lot of stuff that conservative theology believes. But there is a theology out there. What is a theology? Theology is about kind of study about Bible and about God, about human being from the Bible, like this, right? So theology kind of provide understanding about God and understanding about our world. That's a theology. And Christian meaning is that we have a theology, right? Whether it's liberal or radical or conservative and whatever, you have your own theology, right? What about Christian? Mean that most religion have their own holy book. Like Muslim have Quran. Yeah, Buddhism has Buddhism has their own books, right? Just think about even in Christianity, and then there is a lot of sects, and the sects have their own kind of cult. Sect cult, they have their own Bible, except their Bible, like this. So that is kind of the diagram is kind of shows that I try to show that what is the Christians have kind of worldview, right? All the way inside what is real. You see kind of you have your own language to see the world, to understand the world. There is a worldview. What is real? So what is true? And then you believe. Just think about when you think you don't think it is true, and you are not gonna believe it, right? What about the values? What is good? What is bad? And then based on this one, and all the core of this diagram is the worldview, and then you act out. So you act out and then what? And show who you are. That is a Christian, right? So philosophy, what is the philosophy of Christian education? Is that there's a fundamental ideas, the knowledge and principles, and then what else? And then Christian means that it's not other religion. It's based on the what Bible said, based on what Christian theology provided. Maybe radical theology there, liberal theology there, and conservative theology there. So I have a conservative theology, right? So study about the Bible, study about God, and study about human being with the Bible. That's a theology. So what about education? What is education? How do you define education? Education. Just think about. I try to find the dictionary definition. There is the act or process of imparting or imparting kind of as a teacher, as a helper, you can give out some information, and acquiring general knowledge and developing the power of reasoning and judgment, and generally kind of preparing ones or the others intellectually for mature life, right? Acquiring, kind of inquiring and teaching, right? Inquiring or teaching, imparting, acquiring, imparting, kind of process, develop, and then kind of prepare. Just think about through the through the kindergarten, and nowadays, so maybe preschool and preschool like that, and I don't know, kind of system, but they have, right? And in America, it's start with preschool, but some said the preschool, and then they are not qualifying for the preschool. The preschool is the age of 4, and like this, and then after that in kindergarten, and then elementary and junior high and high and college like that, and then that's kind of all through the process, and then they try to basic knowledge of society, basic knowledge of academics, and then basic knowledge of the what we need. And the knowledge gives some kind of skills and insight, even though some are very practical, some are not practical. But it's not academic, it's really focused on academics and what gives you good insight of your, yeah, kind of your world and maybe your business and then life and yeah. That's education. What about another definition? The discipline that is concerned with the method of the teaching and learning in schools or school-like environment as opposed to barriers, non-formal and informal means of specialized. Yeah. Yeah, there is going to be education in there. There is a relatively academic area and like they don't consider education is they don't consider informal education is they don't consider right. Informal education is not education, right? And that is kind of really focus on the school and knowledge, basic knowledges. Like, you can learn the calculation and you can learn what to say, but furthermore, after, during college, you can develop your professional knowledge and stuff. That's education. Just think about the diagram, right? They try to kind of they try to differentiate it as training, education, and learning, but some part is kind of learning is kind of a big categories, including education and training. Training is a part of it's really a specific technique for technique and knowledge, but learning is kind of it's not a one stuff. Sometimes it's not a training in specific period and provide a specific knowledge about their own, but it's a generalized and then I already told you, and then even though you don't go to school and you can learn a lot of stuff. But there is a kind of school kind of from we have a school system. Through the school you could learn and educated, and then what? Give them a kind of specific training. That is a school system nowadays. What about maybe education's definition is a little bit really diverse, and then depends on how the educators and how philosophers are thinking about education. And definition is a lot of different. Look at this, and then so Aristotle and one of the ancient Greek philosopher, and he said that education is the process of training man to fulfill his aim by exercising all the faculties to the fullest extent as a member of society. Just think about the society, education. It's not like this, right? Nowadays. And train, the process of training of man to fulfill his aim, right? Like this, and then just maybe you can see the kind of education system. They learn some mathematics and they learn reading and writing, and then eventually, when for men around 16, 17, and they kind of have education for military like that, and that's a little bit different. So that's Aristotle's definition. What about the M.J. Langeveld? And Langeveld is kind of he is the one that the Dutch Dutch educator, famous educator in Dutch, Netherlands, and then he said education is every interaction that happens in every association that occurs between adults with children is a field or the stage where the educational work is in progress. It's kind of it's not a he didn't limit education to the the school setting. He kind of expanded to any setting, right? So he said kind of learning is occur interaction, right? Between adults and with the children, right? What about Professor H. Mohammed Yuns? He is a Muslim educator in Indonesia, and then education efforts that are deliberately chosen to influence and assist children with the aim of improving knowledge, physical and morals that can gradually deliver the children to the highest goal. Now, he is Muslim, right? He defined more specifically in morality. Defined morality, kind of mentioned moralities. So usually he doesn't think about adult education, he think about the school age and influence and assist the children with the aim of improving knowledge in physical and morals, right? What about the Socrates? Socrates is one of the Asian philosopher, Greek philosopher, and then education means that the bringing out of the ideas of universal validity which are latent in the mind of every man. You have something in your mind, right? And then just take it out and develop your ability. Very philosophical, right? What about John Dewey? He is educator in America. He is one of the forerunner of the pragmatism in education in America. His education is all one who is growing. He has no end beyond himself. Education is everything along with growth. Education itself is no final destination beyond him. So it's kind of his education is from what? From the cradle to the grave, right? That's why it's not just knowledge and just a growing process. What about the H. Horn? And he is Herman Horrell Horn. He's a Christian educator. He said that in the broadest sense, education is the evidence by which a social group continue existed, renew yourself, and defend his ideals. Education is a device. Just think about it, what it means, and by which social group continued exist, continue to exist by renew yourself and then defend his ideal. There is something is like it's not just public education, right? What about the social group? It's specific groups, right? Specific groups have their own ideology, like Christians, like other religions, like other interest groups. Yeah, maybe we can learn about a little bit more later. Yeah. So yeah, kind of nature of education is activity of parents, teachers, schools with the children, adolescents, and other means that we don't limit it to education for just the school years, right? And learning process that occurs in the learner, right? So the learning is kind of occurs through the process. Whether you have a form like in school like this class, and you can learn something through the class, but if you go and with the others, and then maybe that's informal, maybe seminars and maybe conference, and you can learn a lot of different things, right? If you go to Sunday service and you can learn something, new songs, you can learn something from from the message sermon. Yeah, eventually, so the product of learning is kind of education, right? You learn something. So there is the three some kind of some forms of education. It's formal, non-formal, and socialization. Just think about it. Formal, there's institutional, formal, very formal, right? Non-formal and formal, they provide some time like a class, like institutional is provide a class, and then kind of a formalized, and then otherwise sometimes conference and each another class, kind of seminars and other stuff, right? There's formal and informal. Socialization, no, right? What about intentional? So intentional is formal education is really intentional, right? There is a specific, this was a foundation of a Christian education. There's a specific goal is there, objectives there, right? And non-formal, yes, intentional. But socialization is kind of in the family, sometimes intentional, but sometimes non-intentional, right? Just fun, just gather together, just think about, and when parents teach kids something, and maybe I have a lot of intention when I teach my kids. But sometimes there is no intention. Oh, let's just for fun and let's go what it is. Like that. What about the application? Formal, usually they deliver the knowledge. It's not that they don't give the specific application, right? Just think about, and then when you take a class, and then maybe the philosophy of a Christian education, and then this is a different school, and maybe I try to give you kind of an application, but you don't have to do it, right? That's Christian education is different. Not just deliver the knowledge, not just deliver the principle of the knowledge, but we try to deliver the principle of knowledge, and we principles and knowledge, and we try to help you how you guys kind of apply the knowledge into your life, right? Just formal, education is schools, and then non-formal is a special kind of institution. Nowadays, it's a lot of academia, and they have our programs like a specific leadership program and family enrich program and all of it. But they give you certificate, and sometimes, and it's and it help you to be better in your families, in your work, and then in your sort of social setting. That is non-formal. What about the socialization? It's by the society, right? And families. And naturally kind of occurs in society. A lot of different groups and organization and place. That's education though. And formally, non-formally, and just happen in our society. So, when you when you think about education, always think about your worldview, right? How you understand the world. And that is a philosophical understanding. We need a philosophical understanding for the worldview. Just think about it, and another kind of diagram is there, and worldview is also still worldview is in the core of the kind of your thinking, and then there's a kind of lot of social services there, and then a little bit go forward, and then you can explain the kind of theory how what happened, right? And then based on this theory, you can make a curriculum, and you can start the education. That's why the worldview is really important. The worldview, how you understand it. That's a philosophical foundation. And then that one kind of how you kind of live in the setting, right? A lot of the different setting, and then that's the through the setting, people kind of understand who you are, what's going on, what happened, and what, and make a theory, and then use the kind of with the theory, and then you can kind of apply the theory in your education. I got the Michael J. Anthony, so that's on the especially the diagram for the education though. So it's a really, really important theory. So Anthony said that kind of education theory. So purpose and the object of education. Why are we educating? What do we hold to projects? Just think about it. And the role of the instructor, what is expected to us, of a teachers, role of a student, and what is expected of a student. Relationship of teachers and student. How do student and teacher interact? Curriculum content, or what is the scope and sequences of a topic to the study. So, what is the means of evaluation, and how do we know if the purpose and the object were fulfilled? Like this, and then you gotta, when you make a kind of curriculum, you gotta think about these questions, and it's kind of based on your educational theory, and then based on your worldview, and then what are you going to deliver with through this process? That's education, right? You can make your own theory, but not just deliver the knowledge. Okay, through education, and we go over what is philosophy, what is Christian, what is education. Kind of a brief learning and brief understanding, like based on the definition and based on what we use in our daily life, and then why based on three terms of understanding of three terms, and what is the philosophy of Christian education? What is the philosophy of Christian education? Yeah, I got some thing where ChristianCalifornia.com and CA.com and like this. They said Christian education seeks to teach children about the world got created and how our faith is woven into each area of learning, and how to find the purpose and the meaning through God's will for our life. That's a Christian education. What is the philosophy of Christian philosophy of the Christian education? We need a fundamental knowledge of the Bible and how Bible understands the world. We gotta know that one, right? And then we know that and how our faith kind of woven into the area of learning. Social science. Just think about creation. Think about the revolution. It's totally opposite, right? The scientists believe that it's kind of this is myth. Creation is a myth that they cannot believe it. Many scientists may say that this is superstitions, but think about Christian, maybe a little bit logical and rational. Then how can you prove this one? That's an assumption. That's a theory. It's not proven. That's an academic guess, logical guess. That's my view. But people believe this one, make much feasible. That's why. So just think about the philosophy of Christian education. How can we have a big frame of the So you need kind of the frame of kind of system of knowledge of the Bible that shows the way that you kind of directions and principles. That's the philosophy, right? Education is not just delivering the knowledge in Christian educations. It's formal and informal, maybe formal in Christian college and Christian schools, and informal and school and churches and families and homes, whatever. Education continually occurs, right? And what is the final kind of the goal of education for Christian? Just one thing, I'm not sure that we aim to kind of we help the people to grow in God's word up to Jesus Christ. Who is our model of education, or our model of life? Jesus Christ. Right? Jesus Christ. So we need to teach the life, not just knowledge. And usually formal education teaches knowledge, but the Christian education from school and from churches and from our home, and we're gonna teach them how to live specific application, right? Okay. Oh. Okay, this one, it shows what are the difference between the secular education and Christian education. Sometimes maybe I can use general education and secular education. Maybe I prefer the general education and Christian education. Yeah, a little bit different. So now today I'm gonna use it. So I don't know. I don't know. Kind of I don't want to make it dualistic and holy and secular, but that's a word that people are using. So I just pick it up. Maybe later on, maybe switch it to the general education means the non-Christian education, right? Got it? Just what's the difference between them? Just general education and Christian education. So there's a lot of confusion out there because sometimes church don't understand and pastor don't understand of the philosophy and they don't understand the theory and just to try to use kind of techniques and methodology and then we make a big mistake. That's why in Christian education we gotta understand the behind the things that we cannot see, right? So it's really they teach the also general education is humanism. Human is the center of life, but Christianity is a Christian school. Christian education is a teach the what? Christianity. Who is the center of life? God. What about the source of belief? It's evolution. I told you, but we believe what? Source of belief is creation. And what about the child? Like a human being, they believe they're innately good. But we believe that what? Innately sinful. Because of Adam's sin, right? It's a totally different view of a human being, right? And what about the will? Yeah, sacrosanct. Yeah, sacrosanct. This one is what about will to be submit to the God and proper authority. But this one is kind of I have my own, right? What about the teacher, manager, and facilitator? What about teacher and disciple and trainer and nurturer? It's a totally different concept, right? They got paid a lot. No, they got paid. Some of them are non-paid, but it's a different concept though, right? That's why I know a lot of people have a heart for education and try to help the kids. They put all their energy and strength. I know a lot of people do, but basic kind of idea. What about the education process? Child-centered and aimed at self-development. That's but education process is Christ-centered. It's now human-centered, myself. That's why it goes for really selfish, self-achievement. But this one is what? And aimed at the servant, how to serve others, how to serve the God through people, just through serving people. That's the difference. Goal is God's glory and self-realization and self-achievement. What about the fruit? Really self-centered, self-assertion, and career-oriented focus and materialism and hopeless. Yeah, a lot of people kind of later on, not everybody, but yeah. What about this one? Christian education, God-centered, self-denial. It's a little bit but self-assertive, self-denial, and destiny-oriented focus. What about destiny-oriented? Our life is not done in this world, right? We are hoping the kingdom of God. Still, we are tasting a little in this world, but still ultimate, final place it's different. Actually, materialism is pursuing success with money, fame, but this is trying to content what we have and serve and share like this. What about hope? That is kind of I got this from online, but from the book. Yeah. There's a big difference though, right? It's kind of opposite side. So when you think about the philosophy of Christian education, and then that is a kind of summary that how is it different. So yeah, keep that in mind. It's a basic difference, and then I don't know how much you guys and adjust and then think about and understanding the word, and then try to examine your worldview as a teacher, as a profession, and then whatever. I hope that you can, look, examine what you are thinking about and what you are doing about at churches and your organization and home, whatever, and then what you want to do. So try to see yourself and then through the process, and then I hope you can get some idea about the education, right? Yeah. Today is kind of introductory classes, and then tomorrow, next week, we're gonna talk about we're gonna learn about philosophical foundation. Okay, so little bit heavy, lot of we don't know. People are kind of doing their one, but behind their thinking, their mind, and that one is kind of sitting there. So we're gonna learn about the worldview, and then we're gonna learn about the different philosophical, philosophy in this world and kind of influencing education on educations. Okay, so. Any question if you have, and try to contact the office, and then just let me know. So we can do it, and then maybe I have class every Wednesday, 10 to 12, and then if you want to see in person, and then you can let me know. Yeah, you can come to school and just maybe wait, and we can maybe have a lunch together. So let me